the draft, always a busy time for this Blues organization. What was your guys' mentality going into this draft, and how would you assess how you guys handled it?
Good. Obviously very excited with the player that we got. I wasn't sure if he was going to fall to where we were picking, but obviously the group and myself, everyone's very excited to have Justin part of our organization. He's a gritty shooter. He's a powerful player. You know, a lot of character. I think that's something that that's been a focal point is drafting players with the quality people that they are, and Justin certainly fits into that.
Hockey's a little bit different than some other sports. You draft a guy doesn't mean you're necessarily going to see him this season or next season. It is a bit more of a process, and the players are younger. How do you, as a special assistant to the general manager, moving into a general manager position, handle these really young athletes and getting them under a Blue Note organization, but they still have a few more years until they might even see the AHL or even the NHL?
It's a good question. There's obviously getting them into St. Louis during camp is a big few days for them. It allows us to get to meet them and spend some more time with them, get to know them better, but it also gives them a little bit of an insight into what the city's like, what the organization's like, what the facilities are like. So they get, and obviously they get to know their hopefully future teammates during those. So they share each other's numbers, they stay in touch a little bit. So it's that part's great. I think as they grow, again, big part of it is that mental piece. Our development staff will help work with them on just tools, I think, that will help them grow, and especially in those times where they feel a little bit of doubt, or sometimes, you know, in my own experience, I had a father who played, and sometimes you get a little too high, and then you also need to get brought down a little bit, and sometimes you get too low and you need to be lifted up a little bit.
Army's always talked about having a 30,000-foot view of an organization and not necessarily getting caught up in day-to-day. How do you handle that part of the job and not necessarily looking at what the team needs today and in a few months and what this team might look like in a few years?
You're still competitive in that aspect, but it is important to maintain that 30,000-foot view of everything. Stay patient with certain things, and when there's something that you really believe in that fits in what the plan is, and then I think looking at it reversed, you have the plan and you have the outlook of what you believe in, and then you work backwards. Does that fit into what we've been talking about? You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but development camp coming to St. Louis here in the next week. What would you like to see out of players during that time? I don't think there is as much evaluating during these days. It's more getting to know the guys and allowing them to get to know us in the city, and you do get a little bit of understanding of where they're at, especially when they're in-house and you're able to interact and work with them in both off-ice and on-ice. So it allows you to continue the conversation of where the player is in their game or their off-ice, or if there's something else. But it's not that pressure evaluating or anything like that. This is designed more to grow our relationship with the players, but more importantly, getting the players to grow their relationships with each other and the city and the organization.
Over the last year, whether it is from Army or just kind of being in the room for a lot of these conversations, what is one thing that you've learned that you think is most valuable over the last 12 months?
I've gotten that question a lot. It's a tough one to answer. There's so many things that goes on, so it's hard to just pinpoint one thing that I would say. Everything's been an experience for me, a learning experience. Of educated myself a lot throughout this last year, and will continue to do so the next season. But just the staff, the people that we get to work with every day is. You know, as a player, I truly enjoyed it. Now on the other side, it's been quite remarkable, to be honest with you. Everybody is so supportive.
I know he was in a position to potentially leave the team, but Army made it seem like there wasn't much of a chance for Hofer to go. Looking into the future, he is someone that's sticking around. What do you like about Joel Hofer's game and really being a really good backup to Jordan Binnington?
Yeah, I mean, the goaltending for me is one of our biggest strengths. You know, Joel is just growing into what he can become. He's a remarkable goaltender, big saves at big moments. He's athletic. He moves the puck well. He's but him and Jordan have a really good relationship. They work really well together, and you know, with his youthful enthusiasm and hard work, we're very excited of where this is going to continue to grow into.
Last thing, it's the summer, it's the off season. As a player, it might have looked a little different than what it does now. What's the summer look like for you now that you're in this new position, but it is the off season for hockey?
Well, a little busier, but a little less workouts. No, it's yeah. This time of year, obviously, there's a lot going on. You know, with the draft, free agency, development camp, also evaluating and speaking with Monty and the coaching staff, and so there's a lot going on in these months where, you know, as a player they weren't as busy, but yeah, it's been. I'm enjoying myself.
Is it more golf or less golf? Or,
No, not as much. Not enough golf.
Not enough golf.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander Steen, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.